Hey everybody! Today I'm gonna read a story. One of the stories I wrote before I started YouTube. It's like mm, mm, 3 years old. No, 3 years old now. So well, I had started, but I haven't posted this yet. And I was gonna do a song, but I just thought I'd stop and take a break. I like doing this. It's really fun. But anyways, and I posted on Twitter to see what you guys wanted. And I really think you guys would just prefer this because it got a lot of impressions. So, and you probably are going to get a published book eventually when I get resources, of course. So anyway, even if you were to want a published book, I would still have to wait. So I just figured I should relax and read a story. So here you go. This one doesn't have a name, but I think it should be called New Baby. It's kind of like inspired by The Grinch Stole Christmas. So yeah, here it is. I really want a daughter or a son of my own, said Mary. I know I may not have a husband or a boyfriend right now, but I have a lot of special love to give. Mary was talking to her mother on the phone. Mary was a 40-year-old woman who desperately wanted a child. You don't know how much work goes into having a child, said her mother. I'm 40 years old, for God's sake. The clock is ticking. Why don't you just adopt a boy or a girl? The adoption agency says since I have a job and no hope, they can't give me a baby. We'll just hang in there, said Mary's mother. The next morning, Mary was getting ready for work. She walked across the lawn and the lawn a dropped dropped some paper and dropped some paperwork. She went to pick it up and noticed there was something buried in the dirt. She started to unbury it. She found it was a small pod. When she put her hand to the pod to open it opened by itself. Smoke came out of the pod. Inside there was Mary was shocked to see a little green baby sitting inside the pod. It was a girl with yellow curled antennae and little green eyes. Oh my goodness, when did you come? Where did you come from? The baby made the cutest baby noises. Mary picked up the baby pod and brought it to the house. She picked up the phone, and when she got to the house and called the police, Mary asked the authorities if anyone had lost the green baby girl. Everyone laughed and said no. When she got off the phone, she took time to admire the baby. You're the most precious thing I've ever seen in my life. Not sure why you're green, though. You must be an alien. I love you all the same. Your name is Senna. I'm your new mother. Mary, Mary's, Mary Zero, mother, Mary Zero. After, after that day, Mary quit her job and got a stay-at-home work, and her new daughter grew up to be a healthy girl. The end. So that was a nice story. So that was a little short, so I can read some more. This is the second story. It also doesn't have a name. I don't know. I usually name my stuff. These are the ones I didn't really check on. So, yeah. Elizabeth Houston was at a Christmas party. It was hosted by her Uncle Harold. They do this every year with family and friends. The whole house was decked out in green and red. Welcome to my Christmas party. I hope you like the snacks and the refreshments and the he exclaimed. Everyone clapped at the announcement. Elizabeth poked around the room, and all of a sudden she saw blood coming from the tables. She said aloud that there was blood. What's what said a waitress as the adults rushed over where Elizabeth was standing. The light They lifted up the tablecloth and saw a dead body. "Wow," said Elizabeth. "Someone killed Miss Butler." Everyone screamed in panic. They called the police and told them what had happened. The police investigated, but they couldn't get any real ideas of who could have done it. "Let me hope," said Elizabeth. "You can help, little girl. We're the police." "You can't help, little girl. We're the police." "I know," said Elizabeth, "but I think I can solve this." She began to figure out the case. It took her 3 days and a lot of questions, but finally she figured it out. She began to tell the story. While everyone here, when here, while everyone hears what happened, I asked to ask the right questions. While everyone hears what happened, ask the right questions at the right people, and came to the conclusion the police didn't know this. But Miss Button was sleeping with one of the waiters when Mr. Perry caught her cheating with a hotter man. He killed her at the party. Well, out we found our guy, said one of the policemen. Thanks, Elizabeth. Miss Button. And then I'm gonna read. Oh, and by the way, that was like one of those trick intensity questions where it has like one story and one question. It's not really a question to solve, it's really a story. But it's just interesting because Miss Button was just dating this guy, Mr. Perry, and cheated with Mr. I forgot the name already. Hope I with the hotter man. So it's just this story of deceit and betrayal. Like what's that game called? Leighton's Mysteries. It's kind of like Leighton's Mysteries because it's a little girl named Elizabeth, and the girl in Leighton's Mysteries is Elizabeth Leighton. Yep. In this part of my life, I would just see something and then I just try to write about it or create something around it. And the last one, the one about the baby, that's just like the Grinch Stole Christmas. He's a little green baby, and they love him. The Grinch is a little green baby, but then he got made fun of and became a Grinch. So don't be a Grinch, kids. No matter if you're a green and came in a pod. I have a story about a talking horse, but I'll save that for another day. And then I'll read one more I think you guys will like. It's one of my favorite stories. I also have the beginning of the light shade protectors. That thing I wrote on this website. If you haven't heard of it, I had this blog and I wrote the story about these characters. And I called the whole series Light Shade Protectors. I have the first draft in here. It's kind of like an art book. Where is it? I just saw it. I just saw it. And it had a label and everything. Okay. This one's called House. What do you want to do now? Asked Bailey. I don't know. I don't freaking know, said Ashton. They just hit Old Man Hashberry's. They just hit Old Man Hashberry's car. No one has to ever talk. No one has ever talked to Old Man Hashberry before Ashton. No one has ever talked to Old Man Hashberry before. Ashton always thought he was dead. Do we go inside? Asked Bailey. I guess so, said Ashton, in a very confused tone. He didn't know what to do. We shouldn't just go inside and tell him what we should just go inside and tell him what we did, Bailey said. She didn't want to get in much trouble. Let's call our parents, said Ashton, irritated. He dialed the button to call his mom, but no one picked up. Dang, no one picked up. We have to go inside, said Bailey. They slowly went up to the door, then knocked. The door opened by itself. They entered the door. Hello, is there anybody there? Called Bailey. It was deathly quiet. Bailey saw a shadow. Oh my God, what was that? Ashton didn't see anything. What are you talking about? We have to hurry up and get out of here, they hesitated, but went upstairs. There were 3 rooms and a bathroom. Bailey checked the first bedroom. The room looked to be a child's room. The walls were pink and there was a white toy chest and a little girl's bed on the wall. It said, Rest in peace, Rosemary Grace. There was a picture of a ginger-haired little girl at a picture of a ginger-haired little girl. A music box started to play. Holy shit, this is creepy, said Ashton. I didn't know Mr. Hashberry had a daughter, Bailey said. Ashton saw a shadowy a, a shadow this time. Ashton saw a shadow this time. What the hell was that? You saw it too, asked Bailey. Yeah, let's get out of here, Ashton said, as he sweated. They both hooked it down the stairs. When they got down the stairs, Mr. Hasbury was right in their faces. He looked crazy-eyed. My baby Rosemary Grace, he said getting stern, getting said he said going straight towards Bailey. Oh, my baby Rosemary Grace, he said, going straight towards Bailey. Bailey struggled not to shake as the old man touched her hair. She grabbed her and ran upstairs. Ashton was after them. They ran to the last room in the hall. It was his room. He set her down on the bed. Her she put he put a red a red he put a r- ripe red ripe on her. He put a red sorry, but basically he put bow on her, a red bow on her, and he was about to put a dress on her. Then Ashton ran out of the door. He was but sweating bullets. He dialed 911. So it's getting really, really, really creepy. Oh, what's 911? 911, what's your emergency? The operator said. Ashton said, my friend's being held captive. We'll be right over, said the operator. Ashton hung up the phone. He waited outside for the police to get there. They rushed into the house. There was nothing there. Everything in the house had vanished. The police figured it was a false 911 and ran 911 ram and 911 call and left. The car outside was repaired. The end. So yeah, that whole thing was creepy. Let me reread the last part because it was really choppy. He waited outside for the police to get there. They rushed into the house. There was nothing there. Everything in the house had vanished. The police figured it was a false call and left. The car outside was repaired. The end. So yeah, that's kind of like a creepypasta. All this is kind of inspired by creepypasta. I don't know if like you notice with all my stories and stuff, but it's like because I grew up with like Tim Burton, creepypasta, video games, all that stuff. That's the kind of stuff I like. That's the kind of stuff I want to do, and that's the kind of stuff I like. So anyway, I hope you liked it. And on next week, probably, I'll say Wednesday, I'll have another video up about Gothic Lolita and how you could be a Gothic Lolita. And it might verge into other kind of goths and like the goth culture in general. But it's not going to be this long. It's not going to be that long at all. So I hope you guys are interested in that because I know a lot of people ask. It's really not as hard as you think. If I can do it, you can do it. Anyways, bye guys. Have a good day.